Welcome to Deep Thought. Don't lie to yourself about being elite. You know, something I've been seeing more and more, especially in the age of social media, are people trying to ascribe themselves as being the best. Being the best. Now, I'm not going to get into specifics or specific names or anything like that, because, quite frankly, because I don't feel like arguing. But, you know, you got several pages where people say, yes, I'm among the best. Or, well, I use one. I use one. That whole 1% man thing. You got guys trying to say they 1%. I'm like, dude, no. You're not in the top. Because especially the way they ascribe it. How much power do you have in the world? None. You might be better than a few other men, but the top of the food chain? I don't think so. But what you got is people will lie to themselves and say they're on the top of the food chain. And now this is how you know that they're lying. Let me use something. A gentleman I met back when I was a teenager. I was working on this job, and he was talking about people being like the best. And this was when Michael Jordan was first coming out. He was that, dynamic freshman, won the national championship and everything. And he used Michael Jordan as an example. And at that point, he didn't know how, great Michael Jordan would be. But he was saying, Michael Jordan don't have to tell anybody how good he is in basketball. See, one thing, somebody who's truly at the top, truly better, they don't have to tell anybody. They don't have to tell anybody. And in fact, what did I say this week about the power of the word? Sometimes you might be hurting yourself because you're lying to yourself. You saying you better, but why? Usually what I found with people who try to say, well, I'm elite, I'm the chosen, I'm all of this. You look at their lives and you don't see anything about it. And I don't mean just monetarily. I don't mean that could play a part. And in some circles, yes, that's elite. But I'm just talking about in general, how they live in their lives. They are saying, yes, I'm the best. I'm this, I'm that. Sometimes people say, well, I look so good. Or some other people say, well, yeah, I'm so smart. But I'm like, nothing in your life shows it. How is your life good? Because one thing I found with people who are at a certain level, it's going to reflect. They don't even have to tell you. It's going to reflect in their aura, how they carry themselves, how other people see them. In fact, a lot of times people who are really better people, better human beings on any level, they're actually humble. Like most people who have money, and that's just one level. That's not saying to be an elite means you just have money. But a lot of times they don't let anybody know. They just carry themselves along. And that's just a base level. But as far as just being a good human being or a leader or something like that, or better than something that everybody else is, just on that level, nothing in a person's life will show it. See, what it is for many people who will lie to themselves, it's a coping mechanism. It's a coping mechanism. They will use it to cope. Their lives aren't really going that well, but they will tell themselves, lie to themselves, saying, well, I'm so much better than this other person. How? Like I've seen many a time people will see somebody being successful in life, just successful. And they'll look at that person and they'll say, well, I'm better than that person. I got this, and this. According to who? Nobody else can see it. Nobody, when they're around you, they don't feel it. Like I said, a person who's really at a certain level, they don't have to say anything. They're quiet about it. Other people will say the things. They don't have to remind people or tell people, say, yes, I'm this, I'm that. And, everybody else is like, huh. But then I thought about it. Why? Because they're not really that. It's a coping mechanism. They lying to themselves. They trying to make themselves. They trying to use the power of the word, the power of what's coming out of their mouth, trying to make themselves something. But it's not the truth. It's better the truth to be humble and then work your way up. And even then, you don't really know. Because in this world, you never know who's still better. In fact, usually people at a certain level, a certain vibration, whatever you want to say it, however you want to, even at the base level, the money level, and that is the base level, more money than most people. Like I said, they just kind of chill. If you look at physically attractive people, a lot of people who are just naturally physically attractive, they kind of chill. They don't feel the need to say, oh, I'm so much better. They actually got some level of humility. Is everybody else calling them attractive? But I want you to think about that. But why would they do that? Because they don't feel good about where they're at, and they don't want to do the work to get there. So they lie to themselves. Oh, yes, I'm so smart and everything. But you're not smart enough to make enough money just to live well. You're living off of somebody else, but you're so smart. In fact, that's why you get some people feel like, you know, the days are after them. The days don't know they're there. Because the days, that person has no power to impact what the days want to do. I want you to think about that. Think about that. How often have you met that person? They thought they were all that and everything. And not from your projection, but from what they're saying. See, some people think somebody got a problem, but they're doing their own projection. That's another video. From this video, think about how often have you met that person? And you're just looking at them like, huh? But the thing is, they don't feel good about themselves. People who think, you know, you got whole groups of people who think they're superior to other groups of people. But when you really look at them, it really hides their own sense of inferiority. So they lie to themselves. They want to promote the lie because they don't feel good about themselves. So they're going to lie. And then when you present them something, that shows that they are lying, that you see through it, then they have real problems. Because remember, I don't care. You can have a whole block of a house of cards that spans a block. One little breeze plucking at one of the cards, tear it down. That's what truth is. You know? So I'm going to just say this. When you see that type of person who say, yeah, I'm this or that, okay, you know, unless it's affecting you directly, just be like, oh, okay, I see where some stuff is up, you know? And if you are one of these people, ask yourself, are you? How's your life going? How is your life going? If you're all smart and all this or all attractive, how members of the opposite sex or whatever sex you want treat you? Or if you're so smart, how are you living? What good is you supposed to be so smart, but you're doing dumb stuff? Intelligence is more than just some grades in school. Intelligence is, quite frankly, just solving problems. You got a problem of not liking how you live. Okay, your intelligence should get you out of there if you have that, if you have a better intelligence. I want y'all to think about that, all right? Really think about it. And like I said, you don't have to say anything in the comments about it. You know, if you're going through some stuff, just look yourself in the mirror and just say, you know what, you need to humble yourself. Indeed, one of the things, and this is from a more esoteric type of book, you know, it said people when those guys men and women get to that high level, they actually get humble because then they realize what they don't know. What they don't know. You know, they're not going through the world just ignorant. I want y'all to think about that, all right? And y'all have a good weekend. Peace and blessings.